I had the opportunity to take part in the It's Your Reality program put on by the Nelson County School District recently. It was held at Parkway Baptist Church in Bardstown, and I had the opportunity to man the entertainment booth for the It's Your Reality program. We have now for you a little segment from there with some interviews with individuals who took part in the program, as well as some students that took part. And Dorothy White has the opportunity to talk to Amber Godey, who actually got the whole program organized.
Hi, I'm Dorothy White, and we're here today with Amber Godey with Nelson County Schools. I am with the foundation. And Amber, can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the school system?
Sure. I am the College and Career Readiness Coordinator with Nelson County Schools, so I work a lot with the high schools and the middle schools. We do mock interviews, we do job shadowing, we do networking and job fair, pretty much connecting the community to these students and events such as like we are doing today.
And we do have a wonderful event going on right here behind us. We're just getting started this morning, and it looks like it's going to be very exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to go on today?
Sure. So all of the 8th graders in the district, so that's Boston, New Haven, Bloomfield Middle, and Oak Kentucky Home, so it's almost 400 students district-wide, came to Parkway Baptist today to experience 2 different events. Overall, it's teaching college, career, and financial literacy. So behind us is the reality store. So we have insurance, we have banks, we have what's called Chance, we have entertainment, we have groceries. So a lot of the 8th graders are going to come in here and experience how they're going to pay bills. So prior to this event, I gave them a starting salary and took out taxes, so they've already experienced the taxes part. So again, today it's just fun. They're going to go around and learn to adults. And then in the rooms at Parkway is more of a career event. So students are actually hearing from career professionals, anywhere from nurses to farmers to engineers. And then they're also hearing from college personnel and college students. So they're getting, again, that college and career guidance just to get them ready.
That sounds wonderful, and I love that you are starting at such a young age. I think that's one thing that has been kind of missing in the school system as we started, maybe when they're in high school or as they're a senior, and obviously by then they need to have these different realities kind of behind them so they know what they're getting into. And just, I think it's going to be a great day today. And is the public invited to this event, or is this closed?
No, absolutely. We welcome anyone, just as we do to any event. We have people all the time that say, hey, I would like to come to those mock interviews just to see how that's ran, and we invite everyone. We love to show off our hard work.
Well, I think so too. I'm really excited about being here today, and the housing industry is very interesting to me. So I think this is going to be basically a reality check.
And one more comment. I do want to make the community aware of how awesome our community is. None of this would be possible without volunteers. Overall today, we did have 2 events, one at the high school and one here, and we had almost 120 volunteers from the community. So again, without those business and industries allowing people to come in here and give us their time and give these students their time, none of this would be possible.
And I think that's a thing too. I know the Nelson County Schools is the largest system in Nelson County, and we're going to graduate over almost 400 kids again this year. So the young people that we have coming up today are very exciting, and just can't wait to see what we get to do today. Good morning. I'm Dorothy White, and we are back again here, and we have some folks with us today that are helping with our College Career Day. We're at Parkway Baptist Church representing the Nelson County school system. And ladies, can you tell me a little bit first what your name is, and then how you came to be here with our groceries booth?
I'm Bobby Nannery, and I'm the Village Family Resource and Youth Service Center Assistant, and I am here volunteering on the groceries booth.
And with groceries, obviously that is very important to all of us. Can you tell a little bit about what you're going to work with these students on? What are you going to try to explain to them? Obviously, they've been sitting at home with mom cooking probably. So how are we going to break them into this?
Would you like to help me answer that?
So they're going to come with their careers, and we're going to deduct from their banking account, like how much they would spend on groceries. And we have a plan for each one with either a family of 2 or a family of 4. And then our little sheet tells us how much we're going to deduct from their accounts, just to show them in real life this is how it's going to be.
Okay, I think that sounds very interesting, and obviously each student is going to have a different idea on how much they're going to spend on groceries, and I think a reality check is always good. Thank you, ladies. Hi, I'm Dorothy White, and we're here again with the Nelson County Schools Career Day. And one of the careers they're going to be looking at is banking. And so with the banking industry, can you tell us your name and what bank you're representing?
I'm Jonathan Hagerman with Wilson Muir Bank and Trust Company in the Bloomfield branch.
Okay, in Bloomfield, and we've got a lot of different paraphernalia and different things that you're going to use with the banking industry. And for a lot of our students, this is going to be the first time ever we have 8th grade students coming through today. What advice would your, initial selection be here for them? Should they look at opening a checking account? Should they already have a checking account?
I'm going to help them with making a decision on if they have a checking account. I guess in their reality, they're going to have a checking account, and what a checking account consists of, how to do a withdrawal, how to do a deposit, how to do a savings withdrawal, how to do a savings deposit, and the most important thing is how to keep a balance in a register.
Right.
Many adults don't even know how to do that, so that's what we're here today to try to help them do, so they don't get charged in overdraft fees and all that good stuff. Yep.
So if you have a student that comes into you today, and this is the first time they've ever seen a register, first time they've ever had an amount, so they've got their initial amount set, and how do you allow for what banking needs that you're going to have? We have talked to groceries, we've got a little bit of everything out here with us, and so can you just kind of tell me a little bit about how this fits in with what they're doing? I mean, it's critical, obviously.
I mean, if they don't have money in their checking account, they're obviously not going to be able to pay the grocery bill or the...
You mean if you don't have checks, that doesn't mean you have money in there?
That's exactly right. If you have checks, that doesn't mean you have actual cash in your checking account. And even if your check register is wrong, you have to make sure you balance and get a statement and, make sure that the transactions have come out of your account, and make sure that just everyday life, everything has to be accounted for, and
And how often do you suggest that they balance that account? Is that something you should do on a daily basis? I know so much of that is available online. In fact, I always had mine set so that, if it went below a certain amount, then it notified me. And so I get a text that just said, be sure and check your account. And obviously, you need some more cash in there, so you might want to not write any checks until that time.
I was going to say that's totally up to the customer, or I would recommend looking at it on a daily basis, because you're going to be writing checks daily, or maybe not. I don't even write checks. Most people are going to use the debit card.
Right.
I don't even think we're touching on a debit card, but a check's the same thing as a debit card. So there's everybody. I would recommend looking at it daily, because there's online banking, there's the text banking, there's the mobile app banking. So it's really accessible nowadays. It used to not be. You used to have to wait till your statement come in the mail, and then you would check it off once a month. But now that's not the case. Now you can do it any time of day.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the other thing we need to address too. Wilson Muir Bank has been with us basically forever, is what I want to say, in Bardstown and Nelson County. So most people are familiar with them. They have several branches, and I know they've spread out, around the community. And so we just want to thank you so much for being here with us today, and looking forward to another great career day.
Hi, I'm here now with a couple of the students that took part in the It's Your Reality program here at Parkway Baptist Church, put on by the Nelson County Schools. And I have with me your name?
Lana Marrero,
And
Emma Ryder,
what school?
Boston.
And
New Haven.
okay, great. So this was your first time going through this program, right?
Yes.
What did you think?
I learned a bunch of things about stuff I'm not really going into, but it was really helpful in the college aspect and how to manage money.
So part of it was kind of in a classroom. You got instruction on career training and all that kind of stuff, right? And some different professions, right? So what were some of the professions?
Nurse practitioner and stuff like that. So,
Does that have any interest to you?
yes,
So you know what you want to do when you graduate eventually?
I have a pretty good idea.
What is it?
I either want to be a nurse practitioner or a social worker.
Okay, so that would fit right in, right? How about you? What do you want to do?
I either want to be a surgeon or a regular ER doctor.
Okay. Do you remember any of the other topics that were discussed?
There was a dental hygienist and a physical therapist.
Okay. Very good. And then after you had the programs in the classrooms, you actually came out here and got to kind of tour around and learn how it would be to budget, right, for your life, pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. So out here, what were some of the tables that you visited?
There was a bank to put money in a savings account. There was housing, and then after you went to housing, you had to go to utilities to pay the bills for that. And then if you had a child, you had to go to child care to set that up, and just regular things that adults do.
So what was the most eye-opening table that you visited?
I would probably have to say the bank where you put money in your savings account, because it taught you how to save money for your future.
Okay. And you also were assigned whether some people were married, some weren't married, some had children, some didn't have children, some had 2 children or 3 children. What was your scenario?
I had one 6-month-old child, and I was married.
Okay. And so you found out that there's a lot more expense that comes with more people, right?
Yes.
Well, go ahead.
And you can't get rid of them either. Yeah.
Once they're there, they're there. That's real too. So for you, what was the most expensive booth that you visited?
Probably food. Probably.
Really?
Because you have to have enough food to feed all your family.
And what was your family scenario?
I had a 5-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old boy with a husband.
Okay. Wow. So you both had kind of families that you had to prepare for. So did you learn a lot from this experience?
Yes, I'm a lot more eye-open to the fact that you have to pay stuff every month, because I'm I don't know a lot about money, so this kind of helped me see more of where you need to put stuff in and where your priorities need to go.
Okay. How about you? What was your takeaway from this event?
It taught me how to budget my money and that it's a lot of work being an adult.
Well, fortunately, you have a few more years because, right, you're in the 8th grade?
Yes.
8th graders, both of you? Yeah. Okay. But this has been It's Your Reality, put on by the Nelson County Schools. I'm talking to these ladies who have been taking part. Thank you very much. I'm here now with Tony Wiley, who is taking part in the It's Your Reality program here with the Nelson County Schools, where we had 8th graders come from all the different schools, right?
Yes.
So what were you presenting? What was your booth?
I had 2 components. One was student loans, so that they know they may have to borrow money to help pay for college. But on the flip side of that, I gave them all their KEYS brochure, which shows how they can get money for good grades. So if they have an average of a C+, at the end of any year in high school, they get $125 all the way up to $500. And when they graduate, we add all that together. Okay. And that's how much they get each year of college for 4 years in a 5-year window.
And that's open to everybody who makes the grades, right?
That's right. It's open. It's not competitive, so one doesn't knock the other one out of it. They have to be a U.S. citizen and a Kentucky resident, and they do have to graduate.
Okay.
In Kentucky.
Okay.
Yes.
So your booth, when they came around, because all the kids got scenarios, right, of what they were doing and stuff, right? So did that play a factor into anything that you were presenting?
No, the only scenario would be if they were going into military, they might not think that they needed a loan or that they would be using their KEYS money. But I always encourage them, get the KEYS money as high as you can, because they might change their mind.
Right. And
even if they do the military, they could be able to still get their KEYS money back if they go to college, like if they're in the reserves or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So you've been doing this for a few years, right?
Yes, I've been with the state doing the KEYS money for 7.5 years, but we've been doing the reality store here before I started. They've been doing reality stores, so it's exciting for the kids.
So what are some of the questions? What's the biggest feedback you get from the kids themselves?
For me, they're like, wow, they can't believe how much money they could get. I tell them my son got $1,600 when he graduated, but I've seen students get over $2,000. Oh, wow. And they can pick any college in Kentucky they want to use that money.
That's fantastic.
It is.
Do you get it all at one time, or is it spread out over the 4 years?
Whatever their total is. So say they had the $1,600, they would get $800 in the fall and $800 in the spring of their college year. And the next year, if their grades are good, they get it again. Oh, wow. So they get whatever their total is, 4 years, the whole amount each time, 4 years, in a 5-year window. So say they want to go out of state or have a gap year, they can, but then they would still have that money waiting.
That's pretty good.
It is.
And you don't have to be going to It's Your Reality to learn about this, because this is available for everybody, right? And they can contact you or find out, how can they find out more information if
They can go to our website, KHEAA, KHEAA.com, Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. Big old mouthful, but it's KEA.com, and the KEYS money's in the upper right-hand corner. They can click on that and log in and actually look at their KEYS money. If they're a current high school student or a recent graduate, it would be in there.
Fantastic. And of course, all this great information isn't only the thing that Tony does, because she's also an actress that we've had on Channel 6 for several of our programs, and also a writer.
Yes, right now I'm the playwright in residence at the Gallery on the Square in Bardstown. So last fall we did a speakeasy bourbon style for the Bourbon Festival. We look to repeat that this year, and we're also going to be workshopping another play coming up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes out for that stuff too, right?
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Again, I've been talking with Tony Wiley. We're here at the It's Your Reality program with the Nelson County Schools. This is Gary White for Channel 6 Central Kentucky Television. We have another segment in the Women's History program that's being put on by the city of Bardstown. It is a conversation with Keisha Copeland, who is the only female city council person in Bardstown at present.
Being strong doesn't mean that I'm overbearing. Being strong means that I have thick skin, that I have boots on all the time, and they're laced up. My name is Keisha Copeland, and I sat on the Bardstown City Council. There was a lot of pressure running for City Council because we hadn't had a woman run in about 13 years. I studied a lot. I read the Kentucky League of Cities handbook. I looked at regulations and even went to other cities and kind of watched how they did things. Rewarding is representing the very people that elected me to do the job. Having them come to me with their issues, whether it is a water puddle in the back of their yard, budget issues, or chickens. Regardless of what they bring to me, my job is to research it, investigate it, and bring it forth to light. Know who your community is, what they want, and where they want to go. But more importantly, get outside of your community. It's like going to college, just getting to know different people, seeing how they do things, and if it can enhance our city. 2018 is the year of the woman, and I encourage all women to run for office and get involved. We have great ideas. We know how to bring people together. Sometimes that's thought of as being mushy and, soft. We do have a soft side, and there's nothing wrong with that. I hope that all the little girls and the young women will see me and say, hey, it doesn't just have to be one woman on our council, that it can be 4 women on the council, that it doesn't just have to be one woman in the history of our city be a mayor, that we will have a whole line of mayors, because there's many people that came before me that laid the pathway for me. I think that's something that we should all strive for, and that you don't have to be in my position to do that. You can be in many other positions and still mentor someone. My mentor was a man. I hope someday that I can mentor a woman. If you see something that may be wrong, then step up and try to make a change. Are you willing to get your hands dirty? Are you willing to do the work?